Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a basic Cobra stitch paracord bracelet with a plastic buckle. First I'll teach you how to do one with a single color or pattern in this case, like the one I'm wearing. Then I'll show you two different ways to make a double colored one. To make a bracelet of your own, you will of course need some paracord, some plastic buckles, a lighter, a ruler, and a good pair of scissors. Emphasis on good. I'm using my eyebrow kit scissors because I don't have any real ones right now. First, you'll want to decide how much string to cut. Generally, you want your completed bracelet to be about an inch larger than the wrist you're making it for. My wrist is a tad over 6 inches, and with the buckle, my bracelet measures 7.5 inches long. You want to cut about a foot of paracord for every inch of length on your bracelet. My bracelet is 6.5 inches long, not including the inch from the buckle. So to be on the safe side, cut about 7 feet of paracord. If your wrist is 7 inches long, cut about 7.5 to 8 feet just to have some extra and be safe. It's always better to have too much paracord left over than not enough to finish your bracelet at all. Once you have measured out your desired length of paracord, it's time to cut. Like I said, get a great pair of scissors because these ones are not doing it for me. It takes a long time. I'm going to buy some, don't worry. I just forgot to. I am not at home. Your end may fray a little after cutting. If you don't want to work with it like this, then you can just take your lighter to the end right now, like so. Fold your entire piece of paracord in half so the ends line up. With the folded end, you're going to stick that through one opening in your buckle. And then once you have a loop, you're going to take both strings and pull that all the way through. So just go like that. Pull everything through and then pull that tight. It should look like this. Now you're going to take these two ends and stick them down through the other side of the buckle. The amount of string between your two buckles will determine the length of your bracelet. Unbuckle it, then lay this down next to a ruler or a previous bracelet that you have made. I'm making mine 7.5 inches from buckle to buckle. Be sure to hold the string in place from where you measured, then you're going to start forming the knots with the longer strings. I'm using a chip clip for filming purposes just to hold this bracelet up. It will be easier for me to show you this way. You want these two strings to face you. Pull those apart. The two strings in the middle are the ones that you measured and attached to the buckles earlier. When you're doing this, remember which one you start out putting behind first because that one's always going to go behind. You're going to put one string behind the two and the other string over the two. Every time you want the ends to go through the loop. So the one that's going over the two strings is going to go through that first loop. And then the string that you put behind is going to come through this loop. You're forming a knot this way. I just pulled that knot really tight. This side went behind last time, so it has moved over here. That means this side's going to go behind. You're going to alternate every time. So that string's going to go behind. This string is going to go in front of the other two. The one that went behind, you're going to pull the end of that through this loop. And then this loop that has its string going in front of these two, you're going to push that through this loop over here. Pull the entire thing through. And then you just pull it up, pull tight, and you continue making your bracelet the same way. So this side goes behind, this side goes over. And both ends end up going through the loop. And you'll keep doing that exact same thing until the entire bracelet is complete. This is just another angle. It's easy to make these on the ground or just right up in the air in front of you. I have about halfway left to go. Once all your knots are complete, you're going to cut them off and burn them down to secure the bracelet. This actually only ended up being 6.5 inches long because I wasn't careful when I started my first knot and when I hung it up on that chip clip. So that's why there's so much string left over. See that? It went out of focus too. I trim one end at a time. So we're going to start with this one and we're going to burn it down. And I'm by the kitchen sink because I feel more safe using flames on metal as opposed to on carpet and couches. That's also why I have this long lighter, because I'm a sissy and I think I'm going to burn myself with the regular lighter. You can use whatever you want. Light your flame and let it burn the end. You can use the tip of the lighter to push that down and smooth it out. Then cut the other end and repeat the flame method. You want this underside to be especially smooth because this is the part that's going to touch your wrist, so you wouldn't want it to scratch you. Here is a single colored paracord bracelet. Now I'm going to show you how to make a bracelet with 2 colors of paracord. Say you're going to make this the same size as your first bracelet, you're going to divide that length in half between the 2 colors. So if you want 7 feet of paracord, you're going to cut 3.5 feet of one and 3.5 feet of the other. But you want one color to be a little longer than the other, so for instance, make the pink one 3 feet 8 inches, and the black is 3 feet 6 inches. Here I took my longer piece of paracord, I folded it in half and stuck that fold through the buckle. Pull that, form a loop, take that loop and you want to pull both strings through that loop. There. And then pull tight. So you want it to look like this. Stick one end of each color down through the other side of the buckle. And pull it through. Now I have the bracelet fastened with the long ends coming out of one side over here. Now we're going to fuse the black to the pink to make a continuous string. You can leave it this long if you want, but I usually cut it down more. Then you're going to push the colored part of the cord back and cut out as much white as you can, these little white strings. See, I cut all that white out and you can see that it's a little bit hollow and the white's much further down. This hollowed out section gives this side of the string a place to rest. I'll heat this up a little. Once it's hot, quickly stick it into the other side. You want to kind of spin and touch down as you go. You should have a string with 2 colors joined together down here. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks, it's going to get covered up. This setup should look very familiar because this is the same exact way we did the 1 color paracord bracelet. So set the short strings down to measure out how long you want your bracelet to be and then start with the knots. Remember, we have our 2 middle cords that are the short ones and then these 2 longer ones on the side. I'm going to start by putting this one behind, and I'm going to put it over the far one. This is going to do the same thing as I showed you earlier, but it's just a different way to look at making the knot. So remember, this cord goes over the 2 middle strings, and then it's going to go through this loop over here. Sorry, my finger was in the way, but it's the same thing we learned earlier. And then you're going to pull that really tight. Be careful, as I wasn't last time, to make sure that your strings in the middle stay the same exact length. Since you have 2 different colors, it's going to be really easy for you to remember which one goes behind every time. Like I said, it alternates, but the same string is doing the same thing every time. So this one's going behind because it's the pink string, and it can go over that one, and then this string is going to come in front of the other 2 and through that loop. And then you pull tight. Pink behind, and over this, and then black in front and through the pink. Knot this all the way down to the end, and you're going to finish it off exactly the same way as you did the 1 colored one. Now for the second way to do a 2 color paracord bracelet. If you want 7 feet of paracord for your bracelet, add 5 extra inches to your length. So you actually want 3 feet 11 inches of each color of cord. If you want 8 feet of paracord, cut 4 feet 5 inches of each color of paracord, and so forth. Take one end of each color and you're going to stick that up through the buckle. The ends that you stuck through are going to be the short ends. So you're going to pull that to your desired length. If you want your bracelet to be 7.5 inches long, you want to add 5 inches to that measurement. So you would actually want it to be 12.5 inches. Have your long pieces facing you, and then your short pieces will be in the middle. One side will go under both middle pieces, then it will go over that far piece. This far piece will come over the middle 2, and you're going to stick it through the loop over here. All the way through. Pull that really tight. And repeat the knotting method, making sure that the orange is going to go behind every time now. Once your desired length is practically reached, you're going to take your short ends and stick them down through the buckle. Pull those through and then unfasten the buckle. Instead of having 2 middle strings, you're going to have 4 middle strings, and these ones are going to keep doing the same knot that you've been doing. Work with the folded over pieces facing you. Take the orange behind all 4 middle strings and over that blue. Take the blue in front of all 4 middle strings and through the orange loop. Then you're going to pull both of those ends tight. By doing this, you're trapping these 2 strings in. Keep making knots until your bracelet is complete and all the way down to the buckle. Once you have made your knots all the way down, you're going to cut off these 2 middle ones, the extra 2 middle ones that you put back through, and you're going to burn them down like these. Cut off the side 2 as well, just as you did in the one color paracord bracelet, and as you can see, one is burnt on the back here and one is burnt right here. Hopefully now you have mastered the Cobra stitch bracelet. Let me know what stitch you would like to learn next. I definitely want to do some more paracord bracelets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you end up making your own paracord bracelet, be sure to post a picture on my Facebook fan page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. All those links are in the down bar. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and you guys have a great rest of the day. I will see you soon. Bye! Hey, hey, hey. With a plastic buckle. Oh, it's right here. It got turned. Okay, darn it. Twins with my shirt. You paracord, you're the winner. Who is out there talking? I hear men outside my door. Paracamouflage.